Hey everyone, and welcome back to Planet Zoo. Welcome back to Yosemite Valley on this wonderful Saturday. Today we're going to build a flamingo area with a roundabout just in front of it. Yeah, you heard it right. We will be tackling a roundabout today for, well, 80% of the episode, I should say. It's actually kind of fun because this area has been open, and you saw that with the little blocker there, since season 2, which is over a year ago. And it's been something I have been avoiding actively because this was like the last little bit I wanted to do. And you know, as we all know, flamingos are not the most let's say, exciting animals in terms of what people want to see from this game. I do still love flamingo habitats a lot because they, I don't know, they just scream zoo for me. And there's a lot to love about, but people just don't really click anything that has to do with flamingos. And also I had built already quite some flamingo habitats in my franchise zoos at that time. And so I was pushing that far away into the future. And now here we are, finally doing this. And I'm just mega happy that we just finally did it, because it turned out to be looking very nice, and it's a very iconic spot now in this area. You will see in the end, and hopefully you saw that also from this thumbnail, it really looks fantastic because it just really gives you a bit more of the zoo feel, you know. There's like a sign later on the roundabout. It just kind of all turns together now. The overall area is more than finished now, and we have a lot of interesting bits here and there to just witness that. And I just really love the way how it all works together, how it all just evolved after the time. And just in general, I hope you guys stick with me today in the episode, because there are some news I want to talk about a little bit later in the episode regarding this project, but also regarding Discord and so on. So yeah, stick with me if you want to know more about that, but also if you want to know more about the next coming weeks. So let's first of all talk about my nosy voice. I'm very sorry if you guys hear that. I definitely do hear that from editing. Oh god, it's just, I don't know, I cringe the whole time when I'm editing because I hate my voice in this time of the year, simply because of the pollen allergy. There's legit nothing I can do about it. I have been to the doctors. I have some new medics. They work pretty well when it comes to like breathing and so on, but they still can't change anything about the nosy voice. This is just simply because of, you know, all the pollens being sticky in the nose and in the throat and stuff like that, and just kind of creates this nosy kind of a sound coming from my mouth. There's no chance to change this, but I hope it's not too bad for you to listen to. Anyways, I think it's better than the last years. The medics do help quite a bit, so I'm quite happy about this. Just a little bit about the roundabout. It is not like 100% realistic. We did this on live stream, and again, if you want to follow me on live streams, I have been streaming pretty often lately, and also on a very regular basis. So if you want to catch that, click the link in the description. It's going to bring you right into my Twitch stream, and there you can follow, and then you will see, well, if the notifications work, you will see when I'm live. But yeah, so we will actually today build this roundabout, as I said, a little bit more like, you know, it's actually a little bit more just kind of loose and how I wanted to do it. So I just, you know, went with the flow and asked people in the chat what they think about it. So we did change a few of these things a few times, and I will show you in a very brief real-time part at the very end of this episode how this roundabout turned out in the game. And also you will see a little bit of a different area I tackled that I have also been ignoring for the past month. So yeah, we finally did this. But I think there's not that much more to talk about in this particular roundabout, because it is at the very end a pretty cosmetic thing, because we don't have cars in the game, we don't have all these kind of delivery stuff and so on and so forth. However, this is one topic I wanted to talk about. So recently I've been thinking a lot about this game in particular. I think I'm not lying if we can all agree on the fact that Planet Zoo is unfortunately on a constant decline in terms of interest, in terms of player base, and I mean, it's not even lying or not, it's facts. If you look in SteamDB, you can see that Planet Zoo is almost at the same, well, not the same, but almost at a similar low compared to Planet Coaster, and Planet Coaster is like 2.5 years older than this game, which is simply not a very good sign. Or is it even, wait a second, it's 3 years older. Yeah, so it's a bit unfortunate. I still love the game, but I think people just moved on, which is totally fine. I get that. And also people are obviously busy with life and all these kind of things. So I was thinking a lot about what could possibly recover this game a little bit. And I think there is still some pretty huge potential in, and we talked about this in live stream. So if you guys really want to interact with me on that level and really talk about this, discuss about things that could improve the game, the live stream is definitely the best place to be, because that's where we do it all the time. And I'm very open to all these discussions. I'm also not shut down when it comes to mods. I just don't talk about mods in these videos too often, and also not too often in my Discord or so, simply because officially they are against the terms of use of the Cobra engine of Planet Zoo. So we have to talk about that in a different context, and just simply looking at modding, what's happening over there is pretty amazing. What people do and how skilled and talented they are is pretty much great, but it has to be on a different location for now. However, if we talk about what could bring this game back, and I think there are, for me, 3 major pillars, and these major pillars are, and this is rather important. The first pillar is more animals, and I think I speak for everyone when I say we love pieces and we love building, but this game offers already quite a huge amount of great pieces to be building everything that you want. But it is a zoo game, and at the very end of the day, what really makes the game are the animals. And I think we all want a bigger DLC in terms of animals. I think we can all pretty much live with the fact not having 250 plus pieces per DLC. It would be pretty amazing if we just get a couple of pieces that might be just some new enrichment items, and then just get double the amount of animals. I think this is definitely a switch or a shift in the approach that would help already as a first bigger pillar. The second pillar for me is a huge overhaul in management. I do still get that there are a lot of things in this game that can't really be changed too much, and if we remember what has been talked about when the different lifespan of the animals was changed. So remember, there was like, you now have the option to change to 5 times lower speed of aging. This is kind of a workaround of the core problem. It's not a problem, but the core system of time in the game, how time is handled. So that 1 day is basically 1 month in the game. And this system didn't allow to change this naturally, so you couldn't change this speed because it's very much tucked to this. However, and this is the other thing, they just implemented this lifespan update to make sure that animals do not age so fast, and you still have a lot more fun with those animals over time. Hence, it also reduces obviously the offspring, or let's say not, it doesn't reduce it, but it changes the amount per time, simply because it's lower by the factor you set it to. And as much as I think this was a great help for many people, it's definitely not solving the issue that really existed with not having too much of an exciting day and night or monthly cycle. And what I think, and this is now coming to the point, what the second pillar is like the management overhaul needs like a lot of different things when it comes to the conservation credits. They have to be rebalanced, in my opinion, a little bit, just in terms of how important they are. At this point, they are not super important, only to get some animals, but then again, it's all gone. I would love to have you need to buy some more restrictions, or not restrictions, but maybe you have to buy some green cards, or you have to buy some, I don't know, opportunities to get a panda, for example. So it's not like that you can afford it. It has to be also unlocked by how good your zoo performs and stuff like that. So really these kind of challenges that will put you in a position that you have to build in a different way. A second thing in management would obviously be weather, because weather at this point, as much as I love the weather visually in this game, it's stunning, it's amazing, it has barely an effect to the game. Once you set up your heaters and coolers, the weather doesn't matter anymore. Once you set up a shelter, the weather doesn't matter anymore. So I would really love to see a change to this, to have a bit more of a realistic weather approach. That means that we don't have snow in August in temperate, or that we don't have snow in tropical, or that there is no snow, I guess, but that we don't have too much rain or too less rain in tropical. So just a bit of a rebalancing of weather in these different biomes, because that would also lead to a bit of a better management aspect. So if you know that in the month of December, January, and February, you're very likely to have snow, then you need to have some different challenges in the game. Maybe some goods are not sold as much. Ice cream, for example, wouldn't really running that well in these kind of times. So maybe you close down the ice cream facilities you have that do sell ice cream and cool drinks, but you then increase hot coffee and chocolate and stuff like that for the winter time. So this kind of micromanagement that could go in, which is everything is in the game. So there's nothing I'm talking about has to be re-implemented. It's all like a shift in how you approach the things. That would be amazing, like a huge management overhaul. Maybe even change the settings. You can activate or deactivate if you would just want to go loose a little bit more without these restrictions. Fine, but if you want to have a bit more of a management challenge, that would be amazing. And then the third pillar for me is definitely addition of staff and delivery management. I mean, the zoo is potentially one of the greatest things when it comes to delivery management and waste management because of how many things you have to look into. Like, you have to look into the different wastes and different stuff that poop, basically from the animals. Some of it is even toxic, You have to make sure that the stuff is really stored in a good way, and also that you just get rid of it in a nice way and not just throw it into the forest or whatever. And the same goes with food delivery. You have to store it somewhere. You have to make sure it's not going to be stored for too long or too warm or too cold and all that kind of stuff. I would love to see, and I'm totally fine at some point to just have some facilities that you can't really look into, but you have to build these facilities. You have to get like a waste depot or something, and you do have like a delivery depot, and then you have to connect this also with the staff management, and maybe we can even get like a new staff road and some staff vehicles. Again, I would be more than happy to see this as a kind of the trackless ride, for example. I think, we had these in Planet Coaster, and I think this would be the solution to that. If you don't want to make it like a free driving thing, like in Jurassic World Evolution, that might be, performance and programming wise a little bit too much asked for. But in general, you could do something very much focused on a trackless ride, that you have to put it in your zoo and then connect this via different stations, and then this brings the food there. And you could even have like a radius around the station that would be where you deliver the stuff. So this is kind of these three pillars I think would really have a huge impact to the game to change it to the better. And other than that, I'm still very much in love with the game, just so you don't understand me in the wrong way. I think I'm just thinking about this because I love the game so much and not because I don't like it. It's really that because I see the potential that is in the game, and all these kind of things. I think many of these problems have been carried over from Planet Coaster, unfortunately. But I'm still very optimistic for the future that there are some changes to be seen. However, let's continue talking about a little bit what is going on here. You can see I'm putting some curbs down, nothing major over here, so it's really interesting. Before I will leave you alone a couple of minutes with the rest of the time-lapse, and then we jump into the real-time part, I just want to quickly give you the question of the day. For those of you who stick with me to this point, thank you very much, you are the best. But there's the question of the day: what is your favorite ice cream flavor? Yeah, it's that simple. But I want to know, we are approaching summer and we need to know what is the best ice cream flavor out there. So let me know in the comments down below, what is your most favorite ice cream flavor? And now I'll shut up for a couple of minutes and then we'll talk to each other in the real-time part. So see you there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in a really quick overview in the real-time part, and this is the roundabout we were talking about. Just to zoom out to see this location. So this is in the very back of the parking lot, and as we are finished now with this, you can really tell how the parking lot evolved over time. And I think for now, this is really one of my best parking lots I've ever built in a zoo or theme park. I mostly ignored them for the major part, but now this is pretty much how it is. We do also have some other parking lots. Oops. Over here, not the bigger ones, but there's the smaller one here, and there's one here where the line's missing. But yeah, these are also two parking lots we still have. But then we go back, this is where we are, and you can see there are some flamingos already roaming around here. I'm gonna put even more in, so we do have a lot of flamingos over here. I'm also a very big fan of this little decal over here we built. It was a pain to build, but I think it looks fairly cool. And if you look from over here, this is just looking insanely good, I guess. The problem is I can't really tell. I really can't change the light too much. It's like light-wise, it is not the best location over here. You can see it's kind of a struggle to build this, but I love this view here with the mountain peeking through. Then you have the sign, and you have to imagine you come here by the car, and then you just go through this. You can see the mountain in the back, and then you can go over here, and then this is the roundabout you're approaching. There's this Yosemite Zoo sign, and for the bus, this is very specific because the bus can't really turn around here to the right. It's also we have to raise that bridge a little bit. The bus would not fit through, but anyways, you will go here, and there's no way the bus can turn around that way. So what the bus does is it goes all the way into the roundabout, goes all around, and then it takes that bus line right into here, and you can see they're parking in these dedicated parking spots. And if they go back, they can basically go here, go back into the roundabout, and take that road back over. So this is the idea, and I mean, for the more smaller cars, this is all going to easily work as well. And then it all goes in here. I stopped the line because I will keep this open as it is. I think it's fine. We don't need to do every single bit in here. That's not necessary, but I think I wanted to keep the focus on that one because it looks fairly cool. And now let's go down here. You've seen that in the part as well. We also increased the beauty of this area. This was, I don't know why I forgot all of this, but you know, that wasn't tackled so far. So I just did a little viewing / chill out area. And if you're over here, you can have a little look to the dome, which I think looks fantastic. And then if you go in here, you have a look to the bridge, or if the sun is actually a little bit better for us, there you go, you can actually see Half Dome from over here. So I think it's, you know, in terms of the vistas and sidelines, this all worked out pretty neatly indeed. You know, I could take a million photos here, and I would love them all. I'm still also a big fan of this backstage bridge over here that is just really nicely hidden, so the guests barely can see this backstage, that this even exists. You know, they go over the bridge, and then to the left hand side they can't really watch, but they can all, you know, they are forced to watch to the Half Dome, which is basically intended. And then if you watch from anywhere else, it just seems like as if this is the bridge. So I think it's kind of a cool way to hide it. and it works. And yeah, we also did this, and there's just like I need to pull this fence through to over here, do a tiny bit of beautification on this backstage road. In fact, what I will do is to just make sure here's like a little entrance, blocking this off, putting a lot more emphasis on the bushes and so on, so that this is hiding this a little bit better, and then also connect this pathway over here, and then we should be fine with this area. I still love the fact that you can have basically, if this is connected, and I still have no idea why it's not yet, but it has to be connected. So you can actually, if the staff members, you know, this is the hub, and they can take the hub, go all the way through here, then they can turn around, go through here, barely even that the people can see this, then go in here, and then they can just cross over here, go in there, and then they are in the next hub over here, which is the one for the seal habitat and for the domes and so on and so forth. I think this is really, you know, backstage wise, this connection between this and this hub works pretty well indeed. What doesn't work well obviously is there's another hub which is back to the elephants, but this is not really connected, so you have to go through the zoo, but that's just how it is, and we will implement some tunnels, like fake tunnels, and that's all we do. But yeah, this is the current status of Yosemite Valley, and oh my boy, does this look fantastic. I am still a very big fan of this project. It looks absolutely gorgeous, I think, and we are about to end this, and I can't wait to release it to you guys so you can explore it yourself and melt down your computers. Anyways, thank you so much for watching again. The question of the day is, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you want to be part of our new community hub, so to say, make sure to jump into our Guilded server. The link is in the description down below. And also, there will be a video rather shortly to explain what this is all about, why I decided to change. And yeah, so I hope you have a good day. Stay safe, everyone. And I talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.